now for News Extra on KNEB, and today's program is brought to you by Intralinks. And here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. We have a couple of folks in here to talk about the annual MS Walk that's coming up this Saturday here in Scotts Bluff. We have Jennifer Baird and Beth Linowski, and then myself. All three of us have been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and are dealing with some of the effects. And for everybody, it's different in every person as to what exactly makes it difficult to have MS. But we'll have Jennifer, first of all, talk about MS in particular. What many people don't understand what MS is and why why it looks like, for example, that I can do a lot of things normally and so forth. But I tell them, well, if you watch me carefully, there's some things you'll notice. Like I have a dropped foot, when I walk. It's not really pronounced, but it's there. And so kind of tell folks about the disease.
First of all, multiple sclerosis is it means many scars, and what happens is the white cells in your body are confused, and they attack the myelin sheath around your nerves. It's like a cable, and they eat the plastic around the cable. But your computer center is your brain. Your messages start from there and travel down your spinal cord. Normally, the scars, that's what sclerosis is, interferes with the transfer of the information. So when, for example, you go to take a step, you may think you're going to take a step, but your body says, no, I'm not going.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things associated with multiple sclerosis are not necessarily a physical impairment or disability that you can see. And that's one thing that a lot of people get confused about because they don't see fatigue. They don't see how stress affects us. They don't necessarily see what heat does to people with MS or cold for that matter. There are so many different things that MS affects. It's not just the physical disability that someone can see, like your drop foot, for example.
Yeah. I quite frankly, I try to hide it a lot, but you can see it if I'm walking a long distance. You can probably notice it. That's when you can notice it the most. But for a lot of people, fatigue is one of the big things. They're just tired all the time, and that's one of the big things. And then for other people, I mean, it's better now because we have medications and other things, and it doesn't seem like as many people that get it are in a wheelchair like they used to be. But for some people, that's what occurred quite a while ago, right?
Right. When it first started, there were no known treatments. In fact, the origin of MS is unknown, whether it can be linked genetically or viral. So that's the first problem, is we don't really know where it came from. Mm-hmm. And so we race to the cure, but it's kind of like going backwards because we don't know where to start. Initially, when MS came out, hundreds of years ago, in fact, there was no treatment. And now they progressed in the 70s and 80s with four injectables. And now, just recently here in 2010, 11, 12, I think were the major releases of the 5 oral drugs that now come out. These aren't cures by any means, but they do help manage part of your MS, and they can help prolong the amount of time that you stay able-bodied, because there is going to be a progression of MS, unfortunately, until we have a cure.
Yep, and so basically all those treatments just help you from having maybe another major event, which is when most people normally get diagnosed is if they have some kind of a major event. I know I did. I don't know whether you did. Did you have a major event that caused you to say go to the doctor and they said, guess what?
I did. My entire left arm went numb, and I thought, well, this is kind of strange, but I related it to my neck. I had been in a car accident when I was in the military, and I thought, oh, this is just a pinched nerve, and I let it go for several weeks, and then I finally went to the doctor, and I can remember the doctor leaving the room saying, well, do you have MS in your family? And I thought, wow, no, I didn't even think twice about it really until the test results came back. Yeah. And then I was thankful, ironically, Kevin, because I said, oh, well, it's MS. I can deal with that. It's not a brain tumor. And then, ironically, I ended up with a brain tumor as well. So.
Oh. So, all right, we'll get Beth in here right after we take this break.
Is your wireless computer network secure? With their years of professional service, you can trust Intralink's technical solutions to keep your small or medium business computer system up and running. Not having a secure wireless network can put your computers at risk. Call Intralinks at 632-6590 to have one of their highly experienced techs set up, troubleshoot, and secure your wireless network. For weekly tips and information, friend Intralinks on Facebook at intralinks.net/Facebook.
We're back on News Extra. We're talking about the annual MS Walk that is scheduled this Saturday over at the Scottsbluff YMCA camp. Jennifer Baird and Beth Linowski are here to talk about it. And Beth, I don't know how many years they've done this, but this whole thing starts pretty early in the morning on Saturday, right?
We start at sign-in time is at 7:30 in the morning at the YMCA parking lot, which will be there. And then basically you just take off and walk as far as you'd like and then come back. And that's great. If you have money, you give it to me, and I will send that in to the MS Society. So it's pretty simple. If you want to walk and don't have any money, that's great. Just come and, excuse me, just go ahead and walk with us and just support our cause.
Yeah. There's quite a few people, it seems like to me, that have MS in this community, and I don't know whether there's a reason for that. A lot of people say it's if you live in climates where there's a drastic change in temperatures throughout the year, such as here, Minnesota, Wisconsin, places like that where it gets really cold, and then in the summer it gets kind of warm.
That's what they claim, and they say, "Oh, I'll move down by the equator, I'll be fine," but you have to. Where you live, the first 15 years of your life will determine if you get MS or not, which I don't understand that, but that's what they tell me. So I guess, and yes, we are in kind of a belt from Colorado through Nebraska and around the United States. I don't know why. They haven't just decided why that's it either, but we're in a belt where there's more MS patients than usual.
Yeah. And there is a support group for MS that meets once a month, right?
Yes, we meet once a month at the hospital, and basically it's kind of fun. We do joke around, have a good time, but we do have educational things going on, kind of education helping you learn how to manage your disease, what to do, or if you have something that you're dealing with in your own health, then you could maybe bring it up, and you probably have 90% of the people say, "Oh yeah, I've been through that too, this is what I've done." Kind of help you out with suggestions.
Yeah, because it's like we said, it's different for everybody. And it depends what your treatment is. I do one of those injectable shots, and you guys are kind of moving more toward the oral drugs, right?
Yes, I did the Avonex for, I think, 15 years, something like that. And it was getting to the point where, an inch needle sticking in your leg every week, after a while, gets a little bit to where I couldn't make myself do it anymore. So I guess I'm living dangerously by not being on any drugs, but I'm looking at taking an oral drug.
Yeah. And lifestyle makes a difference, I think, if you're active, at least for me anyway. If I'm active and doing things and not just sitting around, it seems to help my situation. I don't know whether it helps your situation or Jennifer's situation.
Yeah, there's no way I could just sit around. I would probably drive everybody else crazy.
Yeah.
So I get up and move until I fall over, and then they say I should rest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll bet that's the same with you, Jennifer, right?
Yeah, whatever my body will take, I just keep going and going. So
that's kind of what I do, and then when I get tired, then I go to bed.
Yep.
And 10 o'clock's usually about it. 10 o'clock's as far as I can go most nights. So. But that's,
anyway. Just keep moving, make yourself feel useful, and that you really do have a purpose for moving, and getting up in the morning is important. Not just sitting around. That's not good for anybody. So what they say, a body at rest stays at rest, but a body in motion keeps moving, which is good. I think that was a commercial.
Yeah. All right. There you go. So don't forget the MS Walk this Saturday starts at 7:30. Sign in at the YMCA River Path, and we're just going to walk the river path down to the campground and then back. And there you can walk as much as you want and turn around whenever you feel like it. Even some kids from Geil School are going to be helping us out walking on Saturday as well. And if you can donate some money toward finding a cure for MS, then that'd be great as well. All right, Jennifer, Beth, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.